welcome to the top of the morning show. It is your girl Titi from the D. Happy Monday, everybody. Whew. Can y'all believe we are getting ready to go into a new year? Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Can y'all believe that? Yes. I'm excited and I'm looking forward to growth. When I come back in 2025 in a couple of weeks, I want to come back with a lot for you. I've been looking at the analytics and I got some work to do. I see and hear what you're saying, and I'm looking forward to being able to provide what it is you're seeking. I don't take for granted that you could be listening to any other show. There are hundreds of podcast shows out there, and there will be hundreds more manifesting in 2025. I can't tell you alone. Last year, I know I counseled at least 4 people, that inquired about podcasting. And I'm one of those people, I'm not concerned like, oh, if they do a show, then maybe my people. No, I'm one of those. It's enough for us all. Even if we have the same start time of our podcast. When you're on Spotify or iHeartRadio or Amazon Music like I am, or any the other platforms, because there are other ones. The beautiful thing about it, I always say, is that you could always go back and listen. So it doesn't matter. You could say, oh, I'm going to check out this. My show can be from anywhere from 10 minutes to 30 minutes. And that's a very long show, 30 minutes. But I'm trying to stay true where it's like you get that good 10, 15 minutes in and out, boom, and you can go on with your morning. You rock and roll with me at the top of the morning to kickstart your morning, and I'm grateful. Some of you listen to me on your ride into work. Some of you listen while you're getting breakfast going, coffee brewing, lunch packed, working out. It depends on what the topic is, but I've been looking at the analytics, and friends, I'm coming back in 2025, season 5, just the way you like it. Okay? Now, this morning, I said, you know what? I want to kind of end 2024 with some good advice. And a lot of people are exiting relationships. Then a lot of people are getting out of these relationships and they are holding on to grief and they're sad. And it's like, yo, you're getting ready to go into a new year. Now, 2 more days from now, it's going to be 2025. Some of you might say, it ain't going to matter. Just the change of the year. It's going to be the same. Well, if that's your mindset, then that's what it's going to be. But the change starts with you. I'm going to give you 10 tips, 10 little steps, movements to help you deal with no longer being in that relationship. Because you're going to have those uncharted, undealt with emotions after a breakup. Even if it was mutual, you still going to feel like, wow, we failed. Or you may even take ownership and say, well, I failed in this relationship. Right? But at the end, I always believe that if you're in a relationship and you exit it for whatever the reasons are, you will find a happier median along your journey of healing, because whatever it was or whatever it is that separated you two, it was supposed to allow it, if that makes any sense. Some of you know you've been in relationships that you should have left a long time ago. You left, and when you finally left, it was like, oh my God, it felt like bricks or weight was lifted off my shoulders or off my back, or whatever your wordplay would be. You probably could say, yeah, TT, I can relate to that. The number one thing I'm going to tell you is to allow yourself to feel what you feel. If you are upset or you're sad, you feel like, oh, the world's not going to go on, please believe it will. You can't stop it. Just because you broke up with your little boyfriend, or you broke up with your little girlfriend, or you were separated from your fiance, or you were divorced from your husband, or divorced from your wife. Life will keep on lifing. DTE or wherever electric company you got in your area, wherever you are, water bills still due, light bill, gas bill, rent, lease, mortgages, car notes, insurance, all that is still happening tomorrow. I'm so sorry. That did not stop when your relationship stopped. I know you might say, that's mean. No, it's not. It's reality. So if it makes you feel better, allow yourself to stay in bed, take a mental health day, and listen to your for me songs. Right? Listen to them songs that make you feel like, oh, I wish I never met her. I wish I never met him. Whatever. Give yourself a week. A day is not going to be long enough if you cared, if there was love. Give yourself a week. Or whatever you need to just say, you know what? I'm going to walk through this thing in solitude. You don't need people in your ear, especially people that they weren't fans of your ex. You don't need them in your ear. Because you're going to still find yourself defending him or her. You need that time to say, damn, I'm going to miss her. Damn, I'm going to miss him. Why are we not together? Now, if you messed up, you got a different type of emotions you got to deal with. But if they messed up, why did they do that, in your opinion? And please don't say, what did I do wrong? Unless you did something wrong. If they messed up, and a lot of the times, what's the number one reason why people break up? Cheating, infidelity. You are the best prize that they would have ever had. You got to tell yourself that. So if they messed that up, that's their loss, not yours. You continue to go on and be greater than you already are. But I need you to get yourself together after that week. Get yourself up. Get dressed. Go to the barbershop if you ain't had a line up, a haircut or whatever. Beauty salon if ain't nobody done touched that head. Whether you go with somebody to grab a bite to eat or out for a happy hour martini or whatever, get out. I ain't saying get out and start dating. I ain't saying all that. But get out and refresh, regroup, and know that life is going to go on. Okay? I know you might be like, oh, it's too soon. No, you still got to eat. You got to give yourself that time. And you've given yourself, if you gave yourself a week, come on now. Now you got to say, now that has happened, where do I go from here? Okay? Number 2, make plans with family and friends as you come out of that slow motion. Distraction is always a great way to get out of your own head, your own emotions, especially when that means you got to make time to create and have fun with family and friends who you love and who want to see you get back up on that horse and ride again. But don't forget about the most important part, and that's you. Healing, self-care, right? Mental health care. Because that's so important. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, get over it already. I gave you a week to wallow. I ain't say you was going to feel 100% better and like, oh, yeah, well, forget her. I ain't say that. I said give yourself a week to be like, oh, I'm sad. Yeah, do all that. Get it out your system. You got 7 days, friend. Mark it on the calendar. Day 1 after the breakup. You know that shit going to be rough. I ain't going to tell you it's not. Unless you ain't care about him, you ain't love her or him in the first place, then you like, whoa, good riddance. I couldn't wait. Oh, I'm glad that's over with. Whatever that looks like for you, you know how you feel. But you got to get back up and get the party started. And stop listening to the sad music. Get you some hype stuff on. Hey. Right? Things that remind you of her or him that's in your house. If, y'all live together or if they stayed over a lot and, how you leave that toothbrush, blah, blah, blah. Get rid of it. If it's something that they can just, pack it up and drop it off on their porch. Mail it to them. I know you know where they live. Mail it to them. You ain't even got to have contact. You left some things here. They probably know they did mail it. And for those that want to be slick, the other person, go on and get that thing with some insurance on it and go on and get that thing with, they got to sign for it. I don't care if they sign Mickey Mouse. It don't matter. That way they can't say, well, I never got it. You did. You're lying. The lies you're telling. And move on. Number 3, remember the good times. Now listen, you want to remember the good times and look forward to better times. Everything wasn't always bad, obviously, because you was with them. And if the bad outweighed the good, then I'm happy you guys are no longer together. Whatever it is, whatever it was that wasn't working is the reason why you're separated. Don't beat yourself on, oh, I wish I could have done this. If they wasn't doing their part, you did your part. And if you know you did your part, you got to be okay with that. You can't sit there and be like, well, maybe I was too. No. And if they weren't giving you what you needed, understand that you are important. Communication is key. Oh my God, I can't wait till next season. We coming back hard when we talk about relationships. And I'm going to be bringing on our official licensed therapist. We'll be talking about it. I got some little things I can't almost let the cat out the bag, but I am not going to do it. But it's going to be amazing next season. And you're going to love what I'm bringing to y'all. But in the meantime, I want you to get yourself right. I want you to find happiness in 2025. Number 4, keep in touch with your ex if possible. You might say, what? I know, that sounds crazy. But if you're able to keep in touch, it may not be as big of a loss as you feel. You might have some of the same friends and same groups and still able to hang out. But you just know that, hey, this just ain't gonna work. But we're cordial. If you could do that, that's cool. Because a lot of the times you guys were friends, hopefully, and you will miss your friend. You just know y'all can't be in a relationship. So if you can still commonly get along, hey, let it go. Keep it going. Just expect the first meeting post breakup to be awkward. It's going to be a little rough. Especially if they bring somebody or you bring somebody. Like, I wouldn't do that immediately, but I'd just be like, okay. It's good to see you're doing well and blah, blah, blah. Keep it moving. Number 5, rediscover yourself, friend. A lot of the times in relationships, we get lost. We want to be everything he wants us to be, ladies, right? And they want to be everything we want them to be, right, fellas? What about you? What did you miss doing for yourself or you missed out on? Think about those things. Go back to those things that you put on the burner to see if you even still enjoy it. Pick it back up if it was something that brought you joy. Okay? You want to recapture who you are because you are always who you were. But sometimes, as I said, we get lost in the shuffle of being in a relationship. Number 6, avoid a rebound relationship. Oh, this is so good, friends, because some of y'all jump into the arms of an ex. I know some people who can't be alone. They have to be in a relationship. And it's like, that's not healing. Some people say, and you see this in movies and TV shows all the time, the best way to get over a man is to get under a next one. No, I don't touch and agree with that. I don't believe that at all. You must heal. And it's not fair to that next woman or man if you jumping into a rebound just because they was right there. If you were the one that got left, you probably are just looking for anything and anybody within reason to get rid of the pain and the loneliness and the sadness, and you want to feel like I still got it. But that's not healthy. If you get in a relationship too soon, you never really will heal that wound. And all that will happen at some point is that wound that was never properly closed and healed, let that new love interest, that new person do something that's going to open it up or taint it. And then you go, now you're going to open up a wound that was never closed properly. And the person that did something to have maybe kind of pricked it will get something that they didn't deserve. And that's not fair. Number 7, I don't know if you're a journalist or you like to write. but write about it. If you're not going to go see a therapist or a counselor because you feel like you don't need one, write about it. Write your thoughts on how you feel. If you can't get them out to anybody, if you don't have a trusted friend or a relative that you feel comfortable, write it out. It'll keep it from being locked up inside. Number 8, avoid getting back with him. Avoid getting back with her. Some of y'all will go right back to what you left or what left you just to get left again. Then you got to go through the whole breakup all over again. If you try to work it out, y'all tried to work it out and it just ain't work out, let it go. If things were bad enough for y'all to separate, you need to stay separated. And don't risk it all trying to get I wonder if it'll work, and you met a new person. When you meet a new person, you leave that other one in the past. Trust me, it will tear up something that could be potentially amazing for you. When you let it go, let it go. Number 9, do a post-mortem. Take the time to reflect, as I said, by journaling, but think about meditating. Speaking with your family and friends, like I said earlier. But I really want you to consider going to a therapist or a counselor to go over everything you're feeling, looking at it from the whole perspective. Outside of abusive circumstances, try to resist the urge to pin all the blame on your ex. Okay? It's something that it's normal for people to do, but try to avoid doing that. Well, she was like, and oh, well, he was like, you got to take ownership. You had a role to play in it too. Now, like if it was abuse or they cheated, okay, well, you didn't have a role in that, but yeah, you might have seen some signs and you avoided it. You ignored it. That's your lack of accountability. And the final one, number 10, go easy on yourself, friend. Sis, bro, as you figure out how to move on to that next relationship, I want you to learn how to be in a relationship with yourself first, successfully. Then go outside and play and find somebody who catches your attention and hopefully don't remind you of her or him. Be open to new things, new beginnings, fresh starts. You deserve that. You deserve it. Well, tomorrow is New Year's Eve, y'all. And Tap In Tuesday, the finale. So I'm going to have 2 finale shows. I got a Tap In Tuesday tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. And then I have the top of the show tomorrow morning, the last show of the season. I can't believe it. And then we will be in hiatus until February of 2025 when I relaunch season 5. I can't believe it's coming, but it's coming. And when I come back, I promise you, you're going to love it. Well, until the next time we leave footprints across the sun, you know who it is. It's your girl, TT from the D, and I'll see you soon.